love to scrapbook, and I go to scrapbook weekends sometimes. And one time I was sitting there by myself scrapping away, and I could hear the conversation across the table from me. And I could hear this daughter talking about her dad. And she said, I just don't know what to do with my dad. And my ears perk up. And I said to her, I can help. I'm Mary Grosseroad, and I'm Senior Living Advisor with Clare Senior Advisors. And what that means is I work a lot with adult children and their parents to help them find a better situation than their current living situation. And so when she said, I don't know what to do with my dad, that's what perks me up, my ears perk up. So many times I will hear from friends or colleagues, I don't know what to do with mom. Because their current situation is they're alone, they're not getting out, they may be eating frozen meals, their kids are working so they don't have the time to go over and see them as often as they want to, then they get guilt, and that's when I like to come in and help. I've been in the industry for 23 years, and of those 23 years, 17 of them I worked in actual retirement communities. Emmanuel Village, Remington Heights, Skyline, Heritage Ridge and Bellevue, and Heritage at Legacy. So I know what it's like inside a community when someone moves in, and what the difference they can make for their residents. And what I do is I sit down, like with that person I met at scrapbooking, I met with her and her dad. We sat down and visited, and what I wanted to learn was what was important to him. What were his needs? What does he have? Some medical needs? You know, when you get older, one of the biggest medical needs is TED hose. They have these TED hose to wear from compression stockings. They are very hard to get on by yourself. Or maybe they just aren't, they're missing meals, they're missing socialization. I like to learn what they need, what their needs are, and then I take that information and do the research of all the retirement communities in the area that I think would be good fits for them. Limit it to about 3, set up tours, and go on the tours with them. I become your advocate at this point. The child doesn't need to worry about this. I'll be communicating with the child or the parent, however you want it set up, and help you with this decision. There's no cost to work with me. I'm a senior living advisor with Clare Senior Advisors, and how we get paid is Nolan Clare's our owner, it's local. He sets up, communities reach out to us, have contracts. He sets up the contracts, and I'm like an external salesperson for that retirement community. Should you move into a community we've worked with, that's how I get paid. They'll pay Nolan, then Nolan pays me. I'm going to tell you some stories about why I love what I do. First off, my mother had Alzheimer's, and she died at the age of 68 back in 1999. We didn't know much about Alzheimer's back then. My dad was her caregiver. We found him dead in his house the following year after my mom passed away. Classic caregiver, denying his own health. That is why I have such a passion in helping people with Alzheimer's in the family. That's one of my favorite scenario to work with, because as I could say, if you told me your husband had Alzheimer's, I would tell you, okay, I can help your husband. You're the one I'm worried about. I'm worried about that caregiver, because if they burn out, if something happens to them, then what happens to the person with Alzheimer's? The dynamics change. So I believe you should have a plan in place when you're looking at senior living or looking at your options. I do work with retirement communities, but I also can make referrals to home care agencies and nursing homes, if that needs to be. About a year ago in the month of December, I met with a client. She was in rehab. Home wasn't the best answer for her, so her nephew reached out to me. I found an ideal place for her in West Omaha. We set up a tour. She came in that tour that evening, and she came in and she says, I am so mad at you. What did I do? And she says, I like this place. I was prepared not to like it. I had found an apartment, but she liked what she saw at this retirement community, and so she moved in. She moved into her apartment. She's Catholic. She was able to go to Mass in the community every week. She didn't have to worry about driving anywhere. She had meals with friends and activities, and she got to go on their shopping trips. She was so happy. So she may have been mad at me that night, but she made me happy when I saw that she trusted me and accepted this community as her next home. And every time I'm in that community, I either check on her or ask her how she's doing, and she's doing great. But before I took her to that community, I checked with the executive director to be sure that what she needs, they can deliver, and they did. So that's an example of people I help. I have this saying, you don't know what you don't know until you meet someone who knows what you need to know. And don't wait. I had a client when I worked at Skyline. I had a lady who came to me, and she just had a great personality, and she says, if I don't make this decision, my kids will make the decision. There'll be a dumpster in the driveway. They're going to tell me where I'm going and what I'm taking. And I laughed. She's right. And I said, is that how you want to make the move? That your kid's forcing you where to go? So look before you have to and move before you need to.